What's up, Flubble Gang? Today we're talking about Silent Hill, and I am channeling my inner James. Oh god, I hope not. I do not want to be James Sunderland. With new players using the Silent Hill 2 remake to jump into the series for the first time, or with old players returning that may have a fog clouding their memories of specifics of the series, I thought I'd put together a short video of need-to-knows to get into Silent Hill 2. The first thing that you need to know is honestly nothing. Silent Hill 2 is a great standalone game, so you could just click off this video and wait impatiently for the remake like I am. If you want to know more about the backstory of Silent Hill, though, to get context going into things, I guess we can go through a few key points. This will have spoilers for Silent Hill 1, but none of the other games in the series, and especially not Silent Hill 2, so no worries there. I do mention briefly Downpour, but not any spoilers at all whatsoever. I also talk really briefly about the different worlds within Silent Hill, so if you want to go in super not knowing a single thing at all whatsoever, you probably shouldn't be watching this video anyway. Let's hop into things. First things first, let's talk about the town itself. Why? Because hilariously, the town is the only character you need to get to know on your journey to Silent Hill. It has the most influence over our characters and is the most consistent antagonist across the franchise. Silent Hill is located in Toluca County, Maine, and has a history going back 4 centuries. Originally, and I'm talking the 17th century, Silent Hill was known as the Place of the Silent Spirits, or the Place of Silent Spirits, by the indigenous tribes settled in the area. The spirits in its name referred not only to the spirits of the dead, but also to the spirits of the surrounding trees, rocks, etc. And many rituals and ceremonies were conducted in accordance to indigenous beliefs. In the late 1600s, however, English colonizers would force the indigenous people out of the Place of Silent Spirits and would settle in the site instead. And 100 years later, at the start of the 1700s, an epidemic would wipe out a large part of that populace and the settlement would be abandoned. Another 100 years would pass, and in the 19th century, a penal colony was established near Toluca Lake with a hospital and a prison built to service it. This is also when the Place of the Silent Spirits would come to be known as Silent Hill for the first time. A second epidemic threatened Silent Hill, and the established hospital, Brookhaven Hospital, was put to the test during it. In 1816, the Gillespie Coal and Iron Company established the Devil's Pit mine, proving to be a profitable venture for the town. Unfortunately, Silent Hill's mines were mined dry, and Silent Hill was reinvented as a tourist town to try and replace the revenue lost by the dried up mines. Surrounded by beautiful wilderness and on the border of the mighty Toluca Lake, Silent Hill attracted tons of nature lovers and boaters. Silent Hill took full advantage of this influx of people and hosted tours and water activities such as boat rides on Toluca Lake. This is also when Silent Hill's history of people disappearing started. In 1918, the ship, the Little Baroness, went missing, and its fate, along with the people aboard, are unknown. Unfortunately, this incident, along with others on Toluca Lake, left Silent Hill with a poor reputation for sightseeing, which might have become part of its charm, as the town was said to still be growing but have a poor reputation. Unfortunately, the tourism also opened up the opportunity for drug distribution and gave Silent Hill's cult, the Order, the opportunity to gain power and influence over the town. That's right, Silent Hill has a cult, dating back to the 1600s, where their saint, Jennifer Carroll, was burned alive by Christians. Fast forward to 1853, 4 families left Silent Hill to pursue their beliefs surrounding their religion, the fledglings of the Order, and founded the nearby Shepherd Glen. Around the 1900s, the Order officially came together as the Order, though they did so in secrecy as they were despised by most of the citizens. Over time, the Order worked to infiltrate the public institutions of the town, and with the advent of Silent Hill as a tourist town, it gave them the perfect opportunity to expand their influence. As mentioned, the Order began distributing PTV, a hallucinogen derived from the local plant called White Claudia. PTV was both very profitable and a potent way to control those addicted to it, as the Order could threaten to withhold the drug from those unwilling to fall in line or follow their orders. The Order teamed up with members of Akamila Hospital to produce PTV on a massive level, and even went so far as to assassinate those who stood in the way of that production, such as the mayor, who held a deeply anti-drug stance, and his investigator. Other than drug distribution, the Order was keen on bringing about the birth of their god. This resulted in the kidnapping and murders of young girls for their ceremonies, as they were intended to be used as prospective surrogate mothers. Alessa Gillespie suffered a similar fate when her mother believed that because of Alessa's spiritual powers, she could use her to bring about their god. Alessa's mother, Dahlia Gillespie, burned Alessa alive in their home in a ritual to transform her into the surrogate for God, but this ritual was interrupted partway through when Alessa let part of her soul escape, effectively suspending the ritual. This probably sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and that's okay. We're not here to get into the depths of the Order or what they did to Alessa, but what's important to understand is that the medium, Alessa Gillespie, went through such immense suffering that it left a permanent mark on Silent Hill. This suffering left her soul split, with part of it being reborn as a baby and being raised by parents who found her and brought her back home with them outside of Silent Hill. Alessa must be whole to birth the god, though, so her mother tries to finish the ritual by luring the missing part of her soul back through incantations. When this missing part of her is back in Silent Hill is transformed by Alessa with thick fog and monsters in an attempt to thwart her mother's plans. And this is where we see the version of Silent Hill we all know and love today, today. Silent Hill manifests itself in 3 ways: the real world, the fog world, and the other world. The real world is the vision of the town people, in-game, generally talk about. The resort town people take trips to. It's the least explored version of the town, as we tend to follow characters in Crisis, otherwise what game would there be to play? We get a glimpse of the real world in Silent Hill 4, though, The Room, by looking out Henry's windows. The fog world is the most frequent version of the town we experience, but the thick fog obscuring the town isn't always fog. Sometimes it's snow or ash, though what remains constant is the abandoned look of the town. Buildings are boarded up, and only a handful of people, if any, are encountered. Streets are either blocked off by manufactured, high walls covered in tarp, or boarded up, or just fall away completely into a void to make them impassable. Here we can see the town's manipulation of reality creep in ways that feel incredibly unsettling, as it dances around the uncanny valley of what we expect a town to be and paints Silent Hill as a ghost town inhabited only by monsters who lumber about freely in the fog. The other world is the last of the ways we experience the town, and definitely the most frightening. I'll leave you to find out why on your own, though. It's implied in Downpour, through DJ Bobby Ricks, that Silent Hill has the ability to distort reality to keep individuals trapped within it until they've come to terms with whatever they need to come to terms with, or dealt with the problems the individual has. Hence why Murphy Pendleton can't just hotwire a boat to leave and needs to find the keys to it. It's not the boat that he really needs to deal with, because the town would just find another way to keep him trapped, or the hot wiring simply just wouldn't work. So the reality we face in Silent Hill isn't a hallucination, and those monsters really can kill us. And that brings us to Silent Hill 2 and James Sunderland. James and his wife Mary vacationed in Silent Hill as tourists, and evidently didn't dabble in PTV and just had a lovely time. With Mary having such a great time, she asks James to promise to take her back to Silent Hill one day. I hope this quick summary of the town is helpful in giving some context as to what Silent Hill is all about. Like I said before though, you really don't need any context going into Silent Hill 2. The game does a marvelous job of laying out James's story without it, and anything you don't understand really serves to lay on the mystery of the town. And that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, bell. It really helps me out and helps out the channel. You know what to do. I will see you all in the next one. I hope everyone is taking care of themselves. Don't end up in Silent Hill.